It was a sunny Saturday afternoon, one of those lazy, perfect lake days with cheap beer, folding chairs, and country music humming in the background. We were at my coworker Brandon's lake house up near Lake Norman, just outside Charlotte. I had a cold Coors in one hand, plate of ribs in the other, talking crap with the guys about fantasy football. Then I heard her voice, sharp, high, cutting straight through the easy vibe. Oh my God, do you have to track my every move? I turned and there she was, arms folded, glaring at me like I'd just accused her of cheating. All I'd asked was, so where are you heading this weekend? That was it. Just a question. No tone. No attitude. Nothing loaded. She kept going, loud enough for everyone around the grill to stop talking. Seriously, stop acting like we're married. You don't need to know where I am every second. It's suffocating. Brandon's wife paused mid-laugh. A couple guys turned away awkwardly. One dude actually let out a low whistle, like he was watching a live fight break out. I stood there for half a second, beer halfway to my mouth. My stomach dropped, but my face didn't move. I looked at her, my fiancée, the woman I thought I was going to marry, and something in me just shut off. Okay, I said, calm as hell. You're right. We're not married. She blinked, still breathing heavy like she was waiting for me to start a scene. I'm going to take off. You enjoy your weekend. I set the beer on the patio table and handed my plate to Brandon like I was just done with lunch, not walking out of my own relationship. Appreciate the invite, man, I said. Good ribs. He looked like he wanted to say something, but didn't. No one did. Just a few eyes bouncing between me and her. I walked straight past her. She didn't move, didn't say a word. I didn't even look back. Quick note. Before we go further, share which city or country you're watching from. By the time I hit the driveway, my phone buzzed twice, her name lighting up the screen. I didn't answer. Got in my truck, turned the key, and pulled out without looking in the mirror. I pulled into the garage, the concrete echoing under the tires as I rolled into our spot. Her car wasn't there. Of course it wasn't. She probably went straight to her friend Amanda's place after showing her ass at the lake house. I killed the engine, sat there a second. My hands were gripping the wheel tighter than I realized. I forced myself to let go. Upstairs in the condo, the air felt stale. Lights off, shades drawn, her flip-flops still by the door like nothing had happened. I stepped over them. And then it hit me. This wasn't sudden. It felt like it, sure, but the truth was, it had been coming for a long damn time. The way she rolled her eyes every time I made a suggestion. The way she twisted things around in arguments like I was the crazy one for being hurt. Her favorite line lately? I don't want to be responsible for your emotions. Yeah, that one stung. Every disagreement ended with me apologizing, even when she started it. Somehow, it always circled back to me being too intense or too needy. That's what she called it when I asked her not to flirt with some guy in front of me. Needy. I sat on the couch, elbows on my knees, looking around the room we'd built together. Half the stuff in there, I'd bought. The TV? Mine. The coffee table? I made it from a reclaimed bourbon barrel last winter. The couch? Her choice, my money. The throw pillows were hers, though. She loved those stupid things. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. My chest felt tight, not from heartbreak, but from something else. Clarity. I wasn't letting this slide. I grabbed my phone, opened the contacts, and found the property manager's number. Hit dial. He picked up on the second ring. Hey, Mike. It's Jason in Unit 402. Quick thing. I need the access codes changed. Keypad, garage, package room. All of it. There was a pause. Everything okay? Will be. Just making some overdue changes. He said he'd line up a locksmith for Monday morning. I thanked him and hung up. I stood up and walked to the bedroom. Her side of the closet looked like a boutique exploded. Shoes stacked up, random shopping bags with receipts still inside. Perfumes lined up like trophies. All of it had to go. I pulled open a drawer. Lingerie, tangled jewelry, hair ties. A mini speaker she always used in the shower. I didn't touch any of it yet. I just made a mental list. Laptop? Mine. The kitchen knife she bragged about? Gift from my mom. Blender? Hers. Air fryer? Mine. Those mugs from our Asheville trip? Keep one, box the rest. It was like I'd switched into mission mode. This was no longer our place. It was my place that she lived in. I walked back to the kitchen, opened the junk drawer, and found a notebook. Flipped it open and started writing. Boxes, 15 minimum. Storage, climate-controlled, easy access. Labels, kitchen, bathroom, closet, shoes, random crap. Schedule, pack Tuesday. Set out Thursday night. She's back Friday. I clicked the pen closed, leaned back in the chair, and stared out the window. The sun was starting to go down, painting the buildings orange. My phone buzzed again. Another text from her. I didn't look. I opened the Notes app and added one more line. Start early Monday. Don't stop till it's done. I was already dressed and waiting by the front window when the locksmith's van rolled up at 7:58 a.m. on Monday. Black coffee in one hand, checklist in the other. No sleep, but I didn't need it. I had adrenaline and a plan. He stepped out in a navy work shirt with Terry stitched above the pocket and gave me a quick nod. Morning, he said, pulling a toolbox from the back. You're the guy who called about a full reset? Yeah. Unit 402. Keypad entry, garage remote, smart lock on the front door. I want it all wiped and reprogrammed. Got it, he said. Anyone else need access? No, just me. He gave a slow nod like he didn't need the backstory, but understood there was one. I held the door for him and watched him get to work. I wasn't hovering, but I wasn't leaving him alone either. That front lock was a Bluetooth-linked keypad. Took him all of 10 minutes to rip it off and start reprogramming the software through his laptop. Same with the garage clicker, rekeyed and synced to my phone. You'll get a new code, he said, eyes on the screen. And no one else can use the old one. Not even with the app. Perfect, I said. Just in time. By 8:40, he was wrapping cords and packing up. I handed him a bottle of water and walked him to the elevator. She back soon? He asked, casual. Friday. He didn't ask anything else. Once he left, I headed straight to the storage place 10 minutes down the road. Climate-controlled, month-to-month lease, easy access. I filled out the forms, showed my ID, and got assigned Unit B12. Moving out or moving on? The woman at the desk asked with a little smirk. Bit of both. 15 brand new boxes, a roll of thick packing tape, a fat black Sharpie, and a stack of labels, just like I'd written down. I loaded everything in the back of my truck and headed back to the condo. I started with the bedroom. I didn't rush it. I treated her stuff with respect, not because I owed her anything, but because I didn't want her drama creeping into this process. No rants about how I trashed her things or violated her space. Nah, I did it clean. Shoes, boxed by type. Heels, boots, sandals. That took a full box on its own. Closet next. I folded every piece of clothing. Labeled it closet, tops, closet, dresses, closet, sweaters. Jewelry went into a padded makeup bag I found in her drawer. I wrapped her perfume bottles in old t-shirts so they wouldn't break in the move. Bathroom took less time. Hair straightener, bag of makeup, face masks, that overpriced shampoo she wouldn't let me use. 2 boxes, both labeled bathroom. Kitchen was mostly mine, but I gave her the air fryer and the wine glasses. Left the mugs we'd picked together. She could have the rest. I was halfway taping a box when someone knocked on the open door. It was Tom, the security guard who worked mornings. Older guy, always chewing gum. Everything all right? He asked, eyeing the boxes behind me. I wiped sweat from my forehead. Yeah, I said. Just clearing space. He nodded. Trouble at home? I looked him dead in the eye. Not anymore. He chuckled and tipped his head like that was the right answer. Then he turned and walked back toward the elevator. I sealed up another box, grabbed the Sharpie, and scrawled across the tape. Miscellaneous, last drawer. Then I stacked it neatly with the rest and reached for the next one. I stacked the last box by the patio door and checked the time, 1:15 p.m. Still had just enough time to make it uptown for the lawyer appointment. Ron from my golf league had given me the guy's card a while back. Just in case, he said, like he knew this day was coming before I did. The law office was tucked inside one of those glass buildings off Tryon Street, 8th floor, corner office, with a view of Bank of America Stadium. Receptionist smiled, handed me a clipboard, and offered me water. I waved it off. 10 minutes later, a guy in a gray blazer stepped out and said, Jason? Yeah. Come on back. We walked into his office. Dark wood, leather chairs, bookshelf stacked with binders and law reviews. He sat across from me and didn't waste time. So, Ron said you've got a domestic partnership that needs to be untangled? That's the word, I said, handing him the folder I'd prepped. Screenshots, text threads, call logs, lease agreement, the works. He flipped through it, pausing now and then. His eyebrows raised when he saw the one from the lake house. Stop acting like we're married. She say that often? Versions of it. Usually when she's pissed off and wants to shut down a conversation. He gave a low whistle and kept reading. You're not on her lease. She's not on yours. No shared accounts. No legal marriage. That makes this very clean. That's the goal. He pulled out a yellow legal pad and started writing. I'll draft up partnership termination papers. No assets to divide, no kids, no support obligations. You're giving her access to storage for 30 days? Yep. Unit B12. I'll give her the info when she picks up her stuff. Perfect. We'll have the paperwork ready by Wednesday morning. I can have a server deliver it Friday when she's back. Make sure it's when I'm home. She'll show up here anyway. He nodded, then looked me dead in the eye. Listen, Jason, you've handled this smart. But I'll be blunt. When people like her feel control slipping, they go for the throat. Expect manipulation. Tears. Public scenes. You name it. I've seen it already. Well, now it'll ramp up. If she texts, don't reply. If she calls, don't answer. If she shows up, document everything. No arguments. No back and forth. Got it. And if she crosses the line, call me. We'll escalate. He slid the file back toward me and leaned back in his chair. Frankly, you're in a stronger position than 90% of guys who walk through that door. I didn't smile, but I nodded. I let it go too long. That's on me. Maybe. But you're correcting it now. That's what matters. He stood up and reached across the desk. I shook his hand. Solid grip, no fluff. I'll see you Wednesday. Looking forward to it, I said. I stepped out of that office with no ceremony, no big emotional release, just a calm that I hadn't felt in months. Not relief exactly, just control. Back in the elevator, I took a deep breath and looked at myself in the mirrored wall. I didn't look like a guy on the edge. I looked like a guy done with bullshit. Phone buzzed again. Her name, one more time. I silenced it. Then I walked straight out into the sun. Tuesday morning, I rolled the storage boxes out onto the condo's front patio one by one. The canopy I set up above them was the same waterproof tent I bought her for her birthday last year, the one she said she'd use for outdoor meditation sessions. It sat unopened in our hall closet for 9 months. Funny how useful it became now. The patio wasn't huge, but it was private enough, raised above street level, brick half wall around it. Full view from every unit on our floor. I lined the boxes against the railing in 3 neat rows, labels facing out. Closet, bathroom, shoes, kitchen. I even added a 4th row for the throw pillows she was so obsessed with. I didn't forget a damn thing. Neighbors started noticing around 10. Blinds shifting, quiet looks through half-open doors. I didn't care. I wanted it seen. She made it public at the lake house. I was just returning the favor, minus the drama. Around 11, the door across the hall creaked open. Miss Eileen, the older woman with the fluffy gray cat, stepped out holding a bottle of water. You doing all right, Jason? I straightened up, wiped my palms on my jeans. Yeah, I'm good. She held out the water. You look like you've been at this a while. I took it. Thanks. She looked past me at the canopy, the boxes, then back at me. Moving out. I shook my head. She said she's single. Just helping her live the truth. Her eyebrows lifted just enough to say she got it. Well, if you need anything. I'm good, I said. But I appreciate it. She gave a soft nod and disappeared back inside, her cat meowing behind the door as it clicked shut. By noon, it was all in place. The tent was staked, the boxes were protected from weather, and I'd left a printed list of contents on top of the stack, taped down in a clear sleeve. Nothing emotional. No messages. Just inventory and the storage unit address. I stepped inside and locked the door behind me. Pulled out my phone. Opened Facebook first. Went straight to the relationship tab and switched it to single. No vague posts. No dramatic quotes. Just clean. Then Instagram. Took down every photo she was in. Deleted stories. Unfollowed. Blocked. It was like peeling tape off a wound that had already scabbed over. No sting. Just clean air underneath. I tossed the phone on the couch and cracked open a cold beer. First one I'd had since the lake house. Took a long drink. Then opened the streaming app and scrolled. Landed on Gladiator. It had been years. Felt right. Halfway through the movie, I realized something strange. My shoulders weren't tight. I wasn't checking the time. I wasn't bracing for her to walk in and start a fight about the volume or the laundry or whatever fake problem she needed to unload that day. It was just me. Me and Russell Crowe in a quiet room. No interruptions. No anxiety. No eggshells. When the credits rolled, I stood up, stretched, and looked around the place. Calm, clean mind. Then I walked to the kitchen and made myself dinner. Friday night hit with the kind of quiet that usually meant something was about to blow. I was in the kitchen finishing a burger when I heard the sound of tires crunching in the gravel by the visitor lot. My window faced the drive, and sure enough, there she was, hauling her weekend bag out of the passenger seat of some silver compact. No kiss goodbye, no wave, just her, stomping up the walkway in platform sandals, moving fast. I didn't move from the kitchen. I let her see it for herself. She hit the patio, came to a dead stop in front of the canopy and the boxes underneath. Her head turned slowly, reading the labels. I watched her from behind the blinds, arms crossed, waiting. 10 seconds later, boom. Her fist slammed against the door like she was trying to break it down. Jason, open this goddamn door right now. I unlocked it and opened it just wide enough to stand in the frame. She shoved her sunglasses up onto her head. Her eyes were wild. What the hell is this? She snapped, motioning toward the patio. That's your stuff. You packed up my things? Are you serious? I didn't raise my voice. You said we weren't married, that we didn't owe each other anything. So I gave you exactly that. She blinked, caught off guard for a second. I was mad. I didn't mean. Doesn't matter. You made it clear how you felt. She tried to step forward. I blocked the door with my body. You can't lock me out of my home. It's not your home. Lease is in my name. Lawyer confirmed it. She laughed, short and sharp. You got a lawyer? I reached behind the door, grabbed the envelope, and handed it to her. You've been served. Official termination of domestic partnership. Storage info's listed. You have 30 days. Her jaw dropped. You're unbelievable. 2 doors opened across the hall. One neighbor stepped out to water a plant. Another came out, looking for their cat. Right. Everyone was watching. She glanced around, realized it, and turned back to me with glassy eyes. Jason, please, she said, voice cracking now. You're overreacting. You really want to throw away 4 years over one fight? This wasn't one fight. This was the last fight in a long line of them. She looked like she was about to cry. You didn't even talk to me first. You just decided. No, I decided every time you called me controlling. Every time you made me feel crazy for caring. Every time you flirted with other guys and told me to chill. She shook her head hard. I just needed space. I leaned against the doorframe, calm. You got it. Tears finally rolled down her cheeks. Real ones, maybe. Hard to say. Can we just go inside? Talk for 5 minutes? No. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. Maybe she didn't. You're not even the same person. I finally agree with you, I said. We're not married. You're single, so I let you be. She looked down at the envelope in her hands like it might catch fire. Then, finally, she stepped back. You're gonna regret this. No, I said. I already regret not doing it sooner. She turned and stormed toward the boxes. Lifted one, dropped it, cursed under her breath. The tent flapped as she yanked the corner. I didn't watch the rest. I closed the door, locked it, and walked back to the kitchen to finish my burger. The pounding started before my alarm. I checked the time, 7:02 a.m., and already knew who it was. Bare fists, no rhythm, just rage slamming into wood. I rolled out of bed, threw on a t-shirt, and opened the door before she knocked it off the hinges. She shoved past me like I wasn't even standing there. What the hell is wrong with you? She snapped, turning in the middle of the living room like she expected it to look different. You need to leave, I said, calm but already done. No, she fired back, spinning around. You don't get to just kick me out of my own life without talking to me. Now you want to talk? You blindsided me. I crossed my arms, nodded slowly. Cool. Let's talk. Let's talk about the last 6 months. Every time I brought up an issue, how'd that go? She scoffed. I didn't realize this was a courtroom. It's not. Courtrooms come with warnings. You never gave me that much. Oh my God, she muttered, rubbing her face. I needed space, Jason. Not a freaking eviction notice. No, what you needed was someone you could treat like a punching bag whenever life didn't go your way. And I let you. That's not fair. You call me needy. You call me controlling. You told your friends I was obsessed with knowing where you were. I was venting. Every weekend. She looked at me, mouth open, but no words came out. I walked to the kitchen counter, grabbed my phone, and scrolled through the screenshots folder. Held it out to her. Here, read them. All the times you said we needed to stop pretending we were something we're not, or how you weren't ready to be tied down. You said all of that, not me. She looked down but didn't take the phone. I didn't mean it like that, she mumbled. You were intense sometimes. I just wanted air. I lowered the phone. You got air. I gave you space. I gave you everything you kept asking for. I gave you freedom. Tears welled up, but I didn't flinch. You said we weren't married. You made sure to remind me I had no say. So now I'm just agreeing with you. Her voice cracked. I didn't think you'd actually want me gone. I shook my head. Then you weren't paying attention. She stepped toward me, voice soft now. I messed up. I was scared, okay? You were always there, always good to me, and I didn't know what to do with that. So yeah, I pushed. But I didn't think you'd give up on me. I looked at her. Red eyes, smeared mascara, wearing the same tank top she left in. I'd spent years loving that face. Now I barely recognized it. I didn't give up, I said. I just stopped waiting for you to stop hurting me. That one hit. Her shoulders sagged. So that's it. You're really done? This isn't your home anymore, I said. You can grab what's left and go. No yelling. No games. She stood there, frozen. Eyes darted toward the couch, the kitchen, the space we used to share like she was trying to memorize it. Then she wiped her face and stormed back to the door. You're cold as hell. No, I said. I'm just finally warm without you. She slammed the door behind her. By the time I finished my second cup of coffee, the texts started rolling in. Not from her. She was blocked by then. But from mutual friends. People we'd gone on double dates with. People she thought would take her side. Hey man, just wanted to check in, she's been calling. You good? She said you locked her out? She's saying you flipped out. That you were jealous and controlling. I didn't get mad. I didn't explain. I just replied once. She told everyone she was single. So I treated her like one. By noon, most of them had dropped it. Except Jess, the loud one from her book club. She called 3 times before I finally texted back. I'm not available. And I'm not debating this. She left it at that. Later that day, I was grabbing lunch with Dan, a guy I worked with over in accounts. We hit the burrito spot near the office like usual. He took a bite, wiped salsa off his chin, then said, So, I think your ex showed up at my gym yesterday. I raised an eyebrow. What? She came in asking if I'd seen you. Like straight up cornered the front desk, described your truck, your routine. Whole place got awkward. My stomach tightened, but I didn't show it. She knows where I work out. She's never stepped foot in there. Yeah, well, she has now. I didn't say anything for a second. Just stared at the half-eaten burrito on my tray. Appetite gone. After lunch, I called my lawyer. She's showing up places now, I said, asking friends where I am. Blocking her didn't slow her down. He didn't hesitate. We're filing today, he said. I'll prepare a no-contact order. Between the property breach, the texts, and now this gym stunt, it'll hold up. Do I need to go to court? No. Judge will issue it same day. You'll be served a digital copy. By 5 p.m., it was official. The order came through my email, stamped and sealed. It laid everything out. No calls, no visits, no showing up at my job, gym, or home. Violations meant police. That night, I changed my phone number. Took me 20 minutes to redo all my login verifications. Worth every second. I sat on the couch, staring at the contacts list that was now half what it used to be. Her family? Gone. The wedding planner we never used? Deleted. That group chat with her sorority friends I was forced into? Left it without a word. No announcement. No drama. Just cut it all out. I opened my new number's settings and hit block on the last remaining accounts she might use. Alt emails, old Facebook, that backup Instagram she thought I didn't know about. Then I turned the phone face down on the coffee table and sat back. It was a Friday night downtown, 3 weeks after everything blew up. A buddy from work had dragged me to this laid-back bar on 5th, brick walls, old vinyl playing through real speakers, and not a single TV in sight. I was 2 beers in, leaning against the bar talking about nothing important, when I heard her laugh. I froze, turned my head. There she was, sitting in a corner booth with 3 girlfriends, drink in hand, in full performance mode. Hair done, voice loud, eyes scanning the room every few seconds like she wanted someone to see her. She hadn't noticed me yet, but I could tell what was happening. She was mid-sob story. The way she talked with her hands, how the girl across from her kept nodding like she was hearing the saddest thing ever. Yeah, I knew that routine. I looked away. Not my problem anymore. About 10 minutes later, while I was halfway through a whiskey this guy from accounting insisted I try, a woman tapped my shoulder. I turned and recognized her immediately. Natalie, I think. She'd been at Brandon's barbecue. Quiet, dark hair, wore that dog mom shirt with boots. We'd barely spoken back then. She gave a small smile. Sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to say something real quick. Yeah. I was at the lake house. I saw everything. We heard what happened after too. She looked back toward the booth. You did the right thing. I didn't say anything for a second, just nodded. She started to walk off, then paused. Also, if you ever want to grab coffee sometime, let me know. No pressure. Then she left, just like that. Later that night, sitting in my truck, I opened my phone. Sure enough, there was a message from her on Instagram. Hey, no pressure, but I meant what I said. Coffee's on me if you're up for it. I smiled. It had been a while since something felt that simple. Back at the condo, I tossed my keys on the counter, poured a glass of water, and sat out on the balcony. City lights were soft against the sky. Air felt cooler than it had in weeks. That's when I realized I'd been sleeping better. No random wake-ups from late-night arguments. No anxiety about what mood she'd be in. No tiptoeing around eggshells or decoding texts. Just sleep. Real, solid, quiet sleep. Work had picked up too. I wasn't dragging myself through meetings or zoning out during calls. Hell, even the gym felt better now that I wasn't scanning the door for surprise visits. My phone buzzed. It was my lawyer. Just wrapped it all. Officially closed. No legal ties. Condo's all yours. Clean break. Final line drawn. I opened Instagram again, tapped Natalie's message, and typed. I'd like that. How's Saturday afternoon? I stood out on the balcony, barefoot, flipping a burger on the little grill I'd bought the week after she left. It wasn't anything fancy, just a 2-burner propane setup. But it was mine. Fit the space perfectly. Music played low from the speaker by the sliding door. Nothing dramatic, just old-school rock. The kind of stuff she used to call dad music before rolling her eyes and hijacking the playlist. Now I didn't have to explain my taste to anyone. The condo behind me was spotless, quiet, clean, still smelled like the lemon oil I'd wiped the counters down with earlier. My hoodie hung over the bar stool, next to a cold beer. No clutter. No bags in the hallway. No shoes left sideways for me to trip over. Just peace. It hit me in a way I didn't expect. How long I'd let things slide. How low I'd let her talk to me. And how long I kept convincing myself it would get better if I just stayed patient. Truth was, it wasn't patience. It was fear. Fear that walking away meant failure. But staying? That was the real failure. My phone buzzed on the stool. New message. Natalie, that coffee was better than I expected. You free next weekend? I smiled. Simple. No games. No long paragraphs. No emotional whiplash. Just a woman saying what she meant and meaning what she said. I took a sip of beer, flipped the burger again, and looked out at the skyline. Sunset was starting to hit the glass towers downtown. Whole city lit up soft orange. The same view I'd stared at for months while wondering what the hell was wrong with me. Now it looked different. Because I was different. I thought back to the lake house. That exact second, in front of all our friends, when she shouted, "Stop acting like we're married." It should have wrecked me. But instead, it woke me the hell up. One loud sentence. That's all it took to snap everything into focus. I reached down, grabbed my plate, and took the burger off the grill. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.